By now, I don't think I need to introduce myself, but just in case, I'm your host, Easy. Welcome to Car Language, and let's talk about some decent Landstar accounts to work for. Now, a lot of people, a lot of friends are going to be mad at me for spilling the beans because I'm kind of giving up some plugs, but I've been getting a lot of support from my Landstar fans that's watching me, so I figure I try to help y'all out. And the only reason why I say I try to help y'all out is because uh, these accounts, it's not a for sure thing. There's a waiting list for all of them. Well, not all of them. One, two. I'm gonna mention four. I believe it's four that I got in mind. I want to share with you guys. Two of them you have to wait in line for. Other two are these brokers that have decent loads, especially right now that things are kind of low. These lows, they tend to kind of stay stable as far as the pricing goes. So we'll go from like least best to best. So number four, the Home Depots. The Home Depots, they pay pretty decent. This is over the road. The only flaw with that is they'll take you somewhere, they won't bring you back. So you'll have to get a load. They'll give you the load going to, let's say, here to Texas, but they won't have a load for you coming back. And they're light. Also, for any of you who've been working, have done loads for Lowe's, Home Depot, I think even, what's that other one? Big Lots. For the most, I know Big Lots, a lot of those DCs tend to be drop and hook. Home Depot and Lowe's, if you're going to the stores, it's like a 7 in the morning to like 3 o'clock, 3 p.m. window. So that gives you some time. You can get there early, unload, and grab another load to follow right after. That's usually how I used to do it. I've done those Home Depot loads. Again, this is not a crazy amount of money, but I think it keeps you stable. Because let's say you get one of these loads today, it's a $800 mile trip. You could do that from one day to the next. You understand? You'll run that. Let's say you'll run from here to the borderline of Texas, 800 miles, from Georgia to Texas, 800 miles. Monday you leave, you drive around 700 miles, then tomorrow you do the rest. You understand what I'm saying? Tuesday, you pick one up, go and you keep it moving. So you'll be able to do at least 3-4 loads within a week if you're doing it like that. And the good thing about Home Depot is they have a lot of loads coming out of a lot of states. You understand, those states where you might go and they might not have nothing. It's somewhat rare, but they have a lot of those loads going on in different states, and they don't run too much northeast. So that's number four. Number three, this is a really good. By the way, if you want to contact these people, just call your BCO advisor, and they'll give you that information. They'll give you a list of all the accounts they have. Number three is, his name is Vic. I don't know his last name. I forgot his last name. Vic is a cool broker to work with. He does those little cars, the little construction cars that they use to, pick up dirt, etc. They got the claw in the back, the front. I don't know what you call that. Sorry. Clown on me for that. But it's usually about, they switch them up. It's a lot of those. They do a lot of those. They do a lot of those other small ones where, the little cars that ride around in a DC building. This is not an account. This is an account, but it's not like a steady account. They run New York. So for anybody who likes to run Northeast, this is the run for you. I used to do that a lot, but they kind of, everybody's doing it. They're cutting on the rate, but this rate, they cut it, but it maintains because it has a couple of stops. It might have 4 or 5 stops. The good thing about that is again, it's one of those Home Depot type. You get there from 8 to 5, as long as you get there from 8 to 5. And these are like big yards. Unlike Home Depot, depending on what Home Depot you go to, you might have to leave. They might boot you out the mall. These spots right here, if you get there after 5 o'clock, you'll be the first one they're gonna unload, and you could sleep there. You understand? Like most of these people, I have yet to have an issue with these people, unless it's the DC where you're picking up from. It's a live unload. So you gotta go get live unloaded, and then you go off to your stops. Like I said, it's 4 or 5 stops, but I remember I was in a situation where I needed a paper printed. I needed a BOL printed for the next pickup that I had, the load after that one that I was doing with the little cars. And I told the guy that was about to unload me, I said, hey, if I unload the cars for you, can you print this paper out for me? He said, deal. It was only 2 of them. So I did that real quick. I swear, I never driven one of those because they really don't want you driving them out the truck just in case something happens. You don't want to be held liable for a scratch or whatever. And I learned right then and there. I was pulling a couple of levers. I was moving the car up and down, whatever. And I drove it back out. He told me park it anywhere. And he, basically, I basically just drove him out of the trailer. And he got me, and he printed me my paperwork. And I was good to go for my other run. Vic is his name. I'm sure if you call your BCO advisor, tell him it's like those construction cars that they use at warehouses, etc. Vic something, they're gonna know. Because he's been dealing with that account for a long time. Number 3. I guess 4, 3, 2. This is 2. Walmart has a daily rate. They got a mileage rate. Pretty much if, for some strange reason, if you get caught up getting unloaded, let's say they give you 2 runs and you only do 3 hours, driving, but it took you like damn near 10 hours, you ain't got no hours left. Example, Walmart will pay you like $1,000 and you just did like 300-400 miles, let's say an example, which is not bad. I kind of wanted to do that account at one point, but I just don't like the heavy stuff. And it's not that they do heavy stuff all the time, but Walmart has that Clorox run where they'll load you up with a bunch of bleach and it's like 40,000 pounds. And you for the most part, they don't even run you far. Coming out of Atlanta, the furthest my boy went was Virginia. And he liked that account too. Also, it was a lot of, it's bobtail. And with Walmart, it's like 0 exceptions. It's 5 days a week. I think it's like Tuesday through Saturday or Sunday through Thursday, something like that. Those are the two schedules they have. But people be, I've heard of people pulling in between 25 to 3,500 with that account. And when you do pull in the least amount of money, you hardly work. So Walmart is definitely a good account through Landstar. Now, I don't know, I almost forgot to mention, I don't know what's going on with that account. Last I heard, it was about 6 months ago where they were kind of working out the contract because the rates are too low, so Landstar didn't accept it. So I don't know where they're at with that. Either they're at a standstill or they're working. The other day I seen a Landstar truck hauling a Walmart account, so maybe they got it again. So you can look into that. Again, call your BCO advisor, and they're going to give you a list of all of these accounts. Side note, with Walmart and the next account I'm about to mention, there's a waiting list. So pretty much, Walmart has those drivers already set. You understand? So I think open enrollment is usually like a February. I believe with Walmart, I'm not too sure. Again, I figure I'll share this information just in case anybody is joining with Landstar. You look into this kind of stuff and you get the information because they're going to tell you all of that. When do you enroll in these accounts? So just call your BCO advisor and ask them. They'll direct you to the person you need to speak to. There's a waiting list. So pretty much the way it goes is with Walmart, they have their drivers already. So let's say they shut the account down and then they're going to reopen again in February. They're going to tell you, call to sign up, and then they'll call the drivers that was on it already, and they'll ask those drivers if they want to be on it. If they don't, then they'll start pulling whoever got on the list first. So you definitely want to keep in mind, and that's something that you want to keep in mind. And have patience. Where Landstar is patience. I have one dude in here on that last 5 reasons to work on Landstar. I'm not gonna expose him, but y'all go through the comments. He said Landstar's the worst. He worked with them for 4 months. It take a lot more than 4 months to work for Landstar and be good. Like, there's a lot of people that have been working here for years and are not leaving and hear about opportunities. And there's some that do. It is what it is. But it's a lot of us that got our tricks up our sleeve, and we just don't want to say nothing. We'll help y'all to an extent. Me, I work with somebody, I can't tell y'all what that account is, and if I was to tell y'all, y'all wouldn't want to do it because I get physical. You understand? I get physical with the work. I have to unload from time to time. They pay me for that, but I feel like I need it. That's why I've been fairly in decent shape. And that's my connect. It is what it is. I can't tell y'all everything. Last but not least, I hate to do this to my friends, but Google is similar to Walmart in the aspect of they have their drivers already, but stuff happens. People have accidents, God forbid, people's truck breakdowns. So sometimes, they might put the load up on a board because they don't have a driver for that account. That is a dedicated account, by the way. They are very strict. Walmart is very strict too. Is those 5 days you cannot miss. You better have a really good reason to miss out a day. They want these accounts running like a machine. And that's trucking for you. You accept the contract, that's what you're doing. And it's not with Google and Walmart, it's a contract. You're stuck in there. You can't do whatever you want. And that's why I never really the account that I work for now, it's not like that. I could up and leave whenever I want. You understand? And that's why I never liked the Googles, those type of accounts. It's never been for me. Google is a great account. The only thing with Google is you have to have patience. You get in there and do not get out. In the beginning, you're going to be getting these little loads. You won't be making much. You'll definitely be pulling in between, let's say, 1,800 to 4,000. You'll start off with the 18, but just like I said, have patience. That 18 you pull, you ain't even run. And it's super light loads. Like, it's rare they pull anything over 20,000. So that's something you definitely want to look into. A lot of people just focus on the money. You got to focus on that weight. I don't deal with nothing over 35,000 pounds. I think I'm going to mention that in every Landstar video I do. I do not hold more than 35,000 pounds unless it's flat where I'm riding through. I'll hold 40. I won't do 45. And if, just in case I do go and grab something 40 and they say 45, I'll tell them. I'll call a broker. Yo, this 5,000 pounds more, you got to pay me for that. That wasn't on the contract. That's not what we agreed to. And they'll pay you more. If not, you decline it. Unless you over there at the shipper, then you got to, in a sense, take that L. Because one thing with Landstar is you really don't want to sleep on that low boy. You definitely want to be on it. Because every minute or two, Monday through Friday, even check on Saturdays and Sundays. And sometimes Saturdays and Sundays, these brokers are active. You understand? There's a lot of people out there that need and want money. But Google is a great account. I think I done put one person on, that person put another person on, and that other person had 2 trucks under the Google account. And they were making like $500,000 on a year. Granted that they had that truck running teams and they broke down on them. You already know that person is having a bunch of issues. So I definitely don't recommend the whole teaming thing, but they'll keep you running. And they're hiring for teams right now, just in case anybody is looking to be dedicated. But you definitely make a lot of bank with that Google account. It's definitely one of the best accounts. Again, I'm gonna mention the flaws. They are very strict. Like, if you ask for 2 weeks off, on that last day, unless you overseas, they're calling you, telling you, hey, you good for, start Monday or whenever it is that your schedule starts. And also uh, they're organized too. It's like a Monday to Friday thing. You off on weekends. Um, there is overnight driving, so you got to consider that. They want that run to get done from one day to the next, literally, no exceptions. Um, and another confession, that pay stub that I showed you guys, I think in top 5 reasons why I work for Landstar, I believe, something like that, or maybe it's the other one. I'm not too sure which one it is, but I showed the pay stub, and it was from that Google account. You saw it, the 4,000, and my friend and the driver split, because he was renting the truck from that guy. You understand? So it's definitely a good account. I would definitely look into that. The list is long. I'm like, I should be on number 30, but there's a reason why I'm spilling the beans, because I applied for that account twice, and then the third time right now that I'm currently on the list for. I shouldn't be saying this, but he was like, you should have, I didn't think he remembered me, but he said you should have joined when you applied for the account. So that's my fault. I'm not mad though. I'm good. I like my freedom. I don't like to be tied up with nobody, and that's the only thing with Walmart and Google. You are tied with them. You understand? You can't do what you want. I like to. You guys have been watching my videos. I do a lot. I like to stick to my car, so that's why I don't want to be tied down or nothing. But so you got Home Depot, you got Vic that deals with the construction cars, and Walmart, and you got Google. Now, times are hard. I was looking at the low board the other day, and the rates are not looking too good. But again, just keep checking that low board, keep refreshing that page. The other day I ran 76 miles and made, what was it, $500? You understand? Because I booked that low last minute. I tend to do things like that. I'm kind of one of those daredevil, I live on the edge type of stuff, but it's not good to do that. Depending on where you at, you want to book loads in advance. So don't go by what I do. I move the way I do. I'm reckless. But there's a lot of people that, you see them, you meet up with them, and maybe they don't want to tell you everything, but they'll also say something like, I'll ask them, where you going after this? And they're like, oh, I'm going to such and such. And after that, I'm going to such and such, and then I'm coming back over here. So they pretty much make connections with the brokers, and since they booked in advance, they got their week scheduled already. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Comment down below and let me know what else you want to know about Landstar, and I'll be glad to share it. Thanks for all the new subscribers out there supporting the boy. Have a blessed day. Good luck out there. Drive safe. Car language.